Some people are pro-vax. Some people are anti-vax.
If I ever find one of these lying around again, I will stop being so polite. Get the out of my sight before I demolish you.
And some people
are anti-vax.
That is the group today that we take on in the viral anti-vax TikToks. You know that I am not on TikTok. I think I have an account, but I don't run it. I don't even think I have the app on my phone. Somebody else runs it over here at Daily Wire.
Please help me. I have not slept in 3 days.
So I need my producers to bring me the absolute tippity-top, tickety-talks, and they have done that. Take it away.
I don't know the long-term effects, okay? Why can't you just respect my choice? If you want to get the vaccine, that's fine. Because I don't want to get it. Huh? I don't want to get the vaccine. I don't want to drive out to the airport twice. I don't want to have someone stick a needle in my arm twice. And I don't want to experience any of the potential side effects twice. So why are you getting it then? Yeah, the healthcare system actually wants me to get it. Because if not enough of us do, what's going to happen is we're going to open up, COVID's going to spread everywhere, no one's going to have any protection, the healthcare system is going to collapse, people who need help won't be able to get it, and lots of people are going to die. I disagree. You should still respect my choice. Well, it's a selfish choice, so I don't. You should still respect my choice. Well, I don't.
This just comes from a misunderstanding on the part of the left of what the conservatives are actually saying. And in part, I think it's because conservatives were inarticulate in expressing why we opposed the Fauci ouchie.
Surprise. Get that cone out of my face!
And the experimental drug being unleashed on 5.5 billion people in the world. The argument that a lot of conservatives made was,
hey, libs, whatever happened to my body, my choice? Well, when it comes to the vaccine, I'm just going to say the same line that you say about abortion, and I'm going to say my body, my choice.
But conservatives only say that ironically, or at least they should only be saying that ironically. We are making fun of the liberals' pro-abortion argument. The liberals on abortion say my body, my choice, but we don't really believe that. That's not a good argument for abortion. So when we say, oh, whatever happened to my body, my choice, that's basically just like saying, hey, you guys, you leftists, you're a bunch of hypocrites. So I'm not going to go along with that. But we're not actually saying that we have this total bodily autonomy, whether or not you've got another human being in your body or not. There are plenty of things that individuals are not and should not be allowed to do with their bodies. Shouldn't be able to shoot up heroin. Shouldn't be able to kill yourself. Shouldn't be able to, in my opinion, get like a bunch of really stupid tattoos and dye your hair a crazy color and look like a big lib. But probably the law won't catch up with my preferences there. At least on the first two, though, we have all sorts of laws that tell you that you do not have total autonomy to do whatever you want to your own body. It is not a conservative idea to say that we can do whatever we want with our own bodies. That's a very liberal idea. Conservatives instead believe, no, we don't own our bodies. We didn't create our bodies. We didn't create our own lives. That actually life is a gift from God and that we owe certain obligations to God, particularly vis-a-vis the moral order. The reason not to get the Fauci ouchie is because it's an experimental drug made up by the worst people on earth to stop a virus that for the vast majority of people is not that dangerous, and because it's a horrible reordering of our political community. That's why my body, my choice is not the argument. Keep going.
Up to your door. You and I are over now.
Seems like a little bit of a cope from my perspective from this lady. If I were a gambling man, I would bet that the reason that her ex-boyfriend is that he got a new girlfriend, or that he found her to be a little bit crazy.
You're jealous, you're manipulative, it's crazy. Don't call me crazy!
It wasn't working out. And my evidence for this is that she is behaving like a crazy lady in this video. She's expressing views that are crazy, and she's on TikTok to begin with, which is not great.
She doesn't even have basic motor functions anymore.
That would be my guess. And now she's trying to justify that. But if that was the reason, if she actually dumped her boyfriend because he wouldn't take the experimental mRNA therapy, dodged a bullet, buddy. You dodged 2 bullets, buddy. You dodged the Fauci bullet, and you dodged the lady bullet. More on that in just 1 second. First, though, head on over to expressvpn.com/MichaelYT. It is extremely important to protect your online privacy with a VPN. Choosing a VPN that you trust is equally as important. ExpressVPN is my favorite VPN. It is super easy to install on all of my devices. Phone, laptop, you can put it on your tablet. You click one button, you are protected. Extremely straightforward, and I can say with full confidence that ExpressVPN is the best VPN on the market. Number one, ExpressVPN doesn't log your online activity. They've developed a trusted server technology, makes it impossible for their servers to store any data at all. Number two, speed. ExpressVPN does not slow down your user experience. You can even stream HD videos with zero buffering. Three, ExpressVPN is incredibly easy to use. Just fire up the app and tap one button to connect. It's not just me saying this. Business Insider, The Verge, and many other tech journals rate ExpressVPN the #1 VPN in the world. Protect yourself with a VPN I trust. Use expressvpn.com/MichaelYT today. Get 3 months free on a 1-year package. expressvpn.com/MichaelYT. expressvpn.com/MichaelYT.
Hi, I'm Pan, and this is my partner, Teller. You may have heard vaccination causes autism in 1 out of 110 children. F*** that. Total bullshit. It doesn't. But let's imagine it does. We'll compare 2 groups of children. Teller's group gets no vaccinations. My group does. I'll use this plexiglass to represent the vaccinations. Oh, that's bad. My vaccination wall knocked 1 of the children out of line. That's our 1 in 110 with autism. In the 1920s, before the diphtheria vaccination was common, there were 13 to 15,000 deaths a year from that disease. If you got it, your chances of dying were about 40%. In 1952, just before the Salk vaccine became common, there were about 58,000 cases of polio. If you get unlucky, you might end up permanently disabled or dead. Meningitis, hepatitis A and B, flu, mumps, whooping cough, pneumonia, rotavirus, rubella, smallpox, tetanus, chickenpox. Chickenpox. We have vaccinations against all of them. Which side do you want your child to stand on? So even if vaccination did cause autism, which it doesn't, anti-vaccination would still be bullshit.
Sounds really scientific, doesn't it? Yeah, these people seem like they're on the right side. The evidence is so in their favor that they have to yell and scream and throw oranges at a bunch of bowling pins and use all sorts of profanity.
That. Total bullshit.
Because all of the evidence and the arguments are on their side, right? I don't think so. How do we know that when Penn Jillette comes out and says,
there's nothing wrong, vaccines don't do anything bad, they're only great, they're wonderful, there's no question about them whatsoever.
How do we know, beyond this insane performance, that that doesn't quite tell the whole story? Well, we know because there's a vaccine adverse events database established by the US Congress. We know because there are vaccine courts that actually award sums of money to people who suffer vaccine injuries. We know that no medical procedure, including a vaccine, maybe especially a vaccine, is without risk. We think vaccines that's the one medical procedure that there's no risk whatsoever. But the other reason we know that this doesn't tell the whole story is what he said at the end. He says, whooping cough, diphtheria, polio, this, that, chickenpox. He's throwing the orange at the bowling pins as if chickenpox killed 40% of people that were infected with it, when you and I know, people who are my age, maybe a little bit younger, and everyone else who's older knows that chickenpox is not a big deal. Everyone used to get chickenpox and it was totally fine. Parents would take their kids to chickenpox parties so all the kids would get chickenpox at once. And the worst thing that happened was maybe you get a mark or 2 on your face. Maybe, probably not even that. And you have to rub some kind of lotion on you and take a special bath and you were totally fine. So you say, okay, I know that they're lying about the chickenpox part. Or they may be lying and exaggerating all the rest of it too. This isn't our fault, okay? This isn't the people who are skeptical of the public health establishment. It's not our fault. We're not the ones who out of nowhere constructed the tinfoil hats and started questioning everything baselessly. They lied to us for 3 years, specifically about the COVID vaccine. They lied to our faces. The most charitable take is that they just happened to get everything wrong. And probably the more realistic take is that there were people who were lying, who were not running the proper tests, who were rushing this thing through, who were downplaying the side effects, who were overplaying the efficacy. They were just dishonest the whole time. And so when we don't believe you anymore, in particular about this category of medical procedure called vaccines, that's not our fault. That's your fault. You want our trust back, earn our trust back. But I don't have any trust in that establishment anymore. Next one.
Welcome to Matt's Fake IDs. How can I help you? Yo, do you guys make those fake vaccine cards? We sure do. They're one of our top sellers. Can I get one of those? Of course. Government's not going to tell me what to do with my body. I'm not a woman. Uh-huh. Damn liberals. Okay, well, I'm just gonna need a photo ID and a credit card and I can get this order started for you. Oh, right. Who's that? Oh, Samuel? He comes in all the time for fake work papers. That is not okay. Yeah, he uses them to help undocumented workers get jobs. You can't fake documents like that. There are rules in this country. But aren't you doing that? It's totally different. They're trying to support their families. I'm trying to trick my peers into having them think that I'm vaccinated against a severe disease so I can still get into bars. Oh, you.
Yeah, severe disease. So this is a young man saying this is a severe disease. This disease poses statistically 0% threat to him. It might be severe for some people. It's certainly not severe for a young man. The severe risk from COVID for young people is negligible. Not quite the same could be said about the vaccine. But you see the premise of it. The premise is, well, this guy is fine with certain fake documents, but not other fake documents. See, he's a hypocrite. No. They're different documents. The argument that he's making, well, those are different things. That's actually a good argument. Not all documents are the same. Right? I have a pass to my local public pool, and I've got a copy of Mein Kampf. I guess they're both documents, but they're different, right? The substance of those documents is different. And so in the case of getting a fake vaccine card, I think one could make a pretty strong argument that to possess such a card, depending on the circumstances, would be morally acceptable. You are resisting a deeply unjust law that mandates a vaccine that is, in its very production, cooperating to some degree with evil. So you can make that argument to say, okay, this is a deeply immoral law and it's not wrong for me to disobey that law. Whereas for a work permit or a voting card or a driver's license or something like that, you can't make the same argument. They're different documents, man. Not very persuasive TikToks. I'm still very glad that I am off the platform. See you next time.
Dr. Fauci, give us vaccines.